Actually,
your video
the
is reminding me of that.
yeah. Like showing the world. Like a live stream, it should be some drama about live stream, right? So
Yeah, it
that's
should be
why
like absolutely live.
it should be. Actually, I did that the other day with I think the Thursday episode. So I took it from the park. Funny story. I mean, I figured out somehow the connection, and I was talking, and then I was using my laptop that day. I wasn't using my phone, so I don't know why I did that, but I was calling from the laptop using my phone hotspot. So after half an hour, my my Wi-Fi stopped because my phone just switched off because it got overheated. I'm like, damn. And then I got so nervous, like, is the live stream even on or not? And then I'm calling Samir. Samir, is the live stream on? What's happening there? So Samir is like, yeah, everything is good. And then when I joined back, everybody was talking like they were talking before. Like nobody missed me even, man. Like what happened here? So, but this is good. I think I can talk. There's good connectivity here, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'll show
And the
you
video
guys
quality also looks
the
good.
the lake.
Are you going
Is
to the
this?
island?
I wish I can because I'll lose the connection in the ferry, so I'm not taking the ferry.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'll walk around the shore, this the
Nice.
lakeside, not the shore, whatever it is. But it's beautiful out here. Anyway,
It's
we were
so
talking
pretty.
about city and design inspiration. I think we have new people today, so let's introduce them
Yeah.
also before we go ahead and start today's live stream. We already started, but why don't
Yeah.
you introduce your friend because you brought him in, Yash,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and then he can talk. Maybe you both can start.
Okay. So we have a special guest today. His name is Saiva Datta Sai Kollipara.
Can we please for a minute ask him to tell his full name?
Saiva, please tell your full name.
No, no,
Saiva, please.
no.
Saiva, we want to create dhamal like situation here. We want to take out good reel,
Want
good
to
reel
go
Okay,
content.
viral?
so basically, my dad's name is Naga Venkata Vitala Bhaskara Hanuma Subramaniam Sambashivrao Kolipara, and my name is Saiva Datta Sai Kolipara. So if you merge the two, you can kind of get the idea that it kind of becomes Saiva Datta Sai Naga Venkata Vitala Bhaskara Hanuma Subramaniam Sambashivrao Kolipara. That's simply because of the reason of like Telugu names, like you join with your father, but legally I'm Saiva Datta Sai only. But
No
Sava,
yes,
Kollipara.
there's no
Saiva.
Kolipara in my birth certificate.
Oh,
So I'm only Saiva Datta Sai, and yeah, so that's me.
wow.
So only Saiva Datta Sai, but that's like your shorter name. The actual name includes your father's name, which is also a very long name. You just said,
Yes.
but
Chetan?
your actual name would be really long, right? Ten words
Yeah.
or how many
I
words?
I think it stretches up to 14 words, if I'm not wrong.
Wow,
Yeah.
14
Scientific
words.
nomenclature and common
And
name kind
and
of
I thought
difference.
and I thought Yashvardhan Rungta was big or long enough.
That's
but yeah,
amazing.
But
that's
Matlab,
Chetan,
just
if
I
you
think
if you have to write your full name, like have you ever written down your full name?
so in my passport, my dad's full name is actually written, and they cut it off at like Bhaskara, no, at Hanuma. So then Subramanya Samshaw Kolipara is not even there on my passport. It just stops there. And in my board
Yeah,
exams as well, like it was such a struggle. But then we shortened it down to Naga Venkatapatala. But my sister, on the other hand, she didn't have that privilege. So she used to write
yeah.
NVVBHSS instead of his actual name.
Wow.
wow.
What a
Yeah,
story, yaar. Tanya, such a short name, yeah, like yours. So like,
I really, it's like coming up with TTYL just because like X won't let you cross a certain character count.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
so what's your short form then? Do you have a short form or you go by like what do you go by
Um,
usually?
I people just call me Saiva usually.
Saiva. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We'll call you Saiva then today.
It's a cool
Yeah.
Hope that's
name, right?
okay. Yeah,
Saiva.
Saiva itself is a
Yeah.
cool name. Does it mean
Yeah.
something or what is it?
So Saiva actually means like it relates to the Lord Shiva, and my dad's name, like my dad's short form is Shiva. So
Okay.
that's why like they kind of like got that same going across.
Interesting. Interesting. Religious connotation. Lovely. So yeah, let's. You know why you're here though?
Yes, Yash gave me a little bit of a briefing before.
Yeah.
But I think I'll like kind of like play along with how this entire conversation goes. But
Yeah.
yes.
Everybody's trying to do the same. So nobody knows how it goes, but I think we are designing this live stream as we are talking. That's
Has
the
it? Okay.
that's the whole idea, right? Right, Tanya?
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel now coming
Yeah.
second time? What do you think we can do? And
Yeah,
today's agenda
Yash.
also, right?
No, Yash told it to me towards the end. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, like that should have been one of my questions of what are we discussing? But I think just going with the flow has come very easy now.
Tanya is
Yeah.
always
Go.
so pumped up whenever like she asks me for the link at 10 and she's like with crazy emojis, is the link here? And I'm like, wait a second.
It should be fun, right? I was thinking live stream while we can all talk and there's so many things to talk. We'll keep talking. But
Yeah.
how do I add some drama to it so it makes more sense to live stream and not do like a recorded podcast, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there should be an element of some action, some live thing going on, so that it just makes more
Saiva saying
sense.
his full.
Huh?
I was saying Saiva saying his full name is the action we were looking for.
The action should have been, then once he says it, then everybody should say it and see who gets it right.
Oh yeah,
That should
that's
be the
That
true.
way.
is a rather difficult task because my classmates back in school they tried to memorize it. It took them almost like 4 to 5 months, and then
Hmm.
eventually they got it.
I have this crazy story. Like it's not a story. I was just searching Saiva Datta Sai Kolipara, the whole name, to send
Hmm.
Samir the LinkedIn thing for the and always almost get it wrong, right?
Yeah.
But this time there was just a spelling error in Kolipara. Like I just typed one L, so I was proud of myself that I'm getting there finally. There was just a little mistake. I was like, wow.
You're a
But
true
yeah,
friend. So any true friends or your girlfriend or to be girlfriend should be able to do that. Is that a sort of a precondition to become your friend?
To become my friend. Uh,
You need.
I think
you-
he's considering it after this.
you know what? I
it's
He's
might
like,
actually
take you up on that.
not a
Because
bad idea, right? Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's perfect. I think that's like the true friendship test. Now I can, Yash, tell
Uh,
my full.
and if
can't.
you are if
Network lost.
my network lost, whose network lost? Okay, yours.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
no, no, it was a joke.
You continue. Yeah.
So yeah, we also, if you are single, we also do another live stream which is dating and pitching, where the other day we had good live stream drama because there were three women, all single, and they didn't know that I'll invite a guy. and and he was also single. So and then at the end of the day, they didn't know that I'm gonna ask all the three women, will you date this guy or not? So that was like a surprise for everyone. I don't know if out of politeness or what, they all said yes. So I'm like, okay, at least at
Wow.
least at least some live stream drama there.
Hmm.
So we'll do the same. So today's, I think, agenda, the only fixed agenda is that, you know, Charles, who also joined one of the live streams, I think 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
he's a designer here based in Canada, uh, exited from two agencies he built. So good established founder and into the design field as well. And I think what he spoke also that day, it proves that he's really, really good. But yeah, we'll probably have him join. He's just started his brand of innerwear. It's called Outfox. So I'm just letting you know. You don't have to Google or anything right now, so that nobody gets a heads up. But I'm letting you know that he's gonna give a design brief for his brand. And yeah, I mean, whatever he asks to design or whatever he gives the brief for, I mean, you don't have to give the final output anyway in this session today. I mean, we can go on till about, I would say, maybe midnight India time. But I mean, you can always present your mood board or some sort of direction or something, just to give your thoughts on how do you see this brief, and how would you approach this brief, and possibly what will you make if you have time. So that's the idea today, by the way. Is that okay?
Hmm.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Sounds good.
Sounds interesting.
So Tanya, Diya is here. Yeah? Where's Diya? If
Hi.
I wanna, Diya is like, I'm an interior designer. Why am I here?
Navya is also here. She's a product designer.
He
Oh,
designer, but
Navya
I
is
want.
here too.
Yeah, Navya is also here.
How come I'm not seeing it? So
Hi.
I'm on phone today. Hi Navya. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see your background also.
Yeah.
I have some real clouds behind me,
Hmm.
and you have those virtual ones. So good synergy. So good you joined. So how does this agenda sound to you, both of you, Diya and Navya, both of you?
It's quite interesting. I'm excited to see the output.
To
Yeah.
see the output, so you'll be judging. You'll not give the output.
Diya is the judge. She sounded
I
like a
thought
proper judge.
I
Dia, I was gonna take you in my team and say that let's do it
oh,
together.
That'll be
we
cool to have teams. I mean, I think we can do that too. So there will be now Diya and Tanya in one team, and
Chetan and me one
मैं किसी की टीम में नहीं हूँ भाई. मैं I mean I am outside right
thought
now
you were
talking. That's enough for me.
Chetan is in Toronto.
team.
I'm in Toronto. I only give work to India. I don't take work from India. I'm just kidding. Ironically, all my work comes from India right now. So anyway, point is, I cannot participate. But yeah, I mean, we need someone to discuss while others are thinking. So I'll do that part. And I think Sameer is also here. Sameer, if you want to participate, you can participate too. But Navya, being a product designer, I guess you can also sort of have a team member to just share your thoughts. So Yash is available, and I don't know if you know the other person. Does Navya know Saiva or no?
Saiva, they just met before we went live, I
So
think.
that can't happen. So Saiva, you
Yeah.
don't know anybody on this apart from Yash.
Yep.
No, no.
So then Yash and
Saiva,
Saiva
you
can be
know Diya.
together.
second. Yup.
Saiva, you know Diya. He asked if
I,
you
I am
know
giving
any.
you the content for going viral.
Yeah, that is true.
He
So
just
Saiva,
said that he doesn't know me.
Arey, I
We
forgot you're
all
on this call.
we
You're so
all are in
silent.
the same cohort basically.
so Diya, you
Yeah,
are
we
you
are.
are you are rejecting Tanya. What does that mean? Who do you want then?
No,
No,
Tanya got in the
no.
in between the fight.
I'm definitely in her team. I'm definitely in her team, but I'm just realizing that Saiva just said he doesn't know anybody else on this call.
So
Yeah,
He
what to
basically,
do?
he knows us now. He knows us now. I think he'll know us more as by the end of the call. So
no.
so
So basically, when you ask Saiva if he knows somebody else than me, Diya and Saiva already know each other, and they've met in Bombay also. But Saiva said yes, I only know Yash on this call. That's why.
that's
That's why
I
it
don't know.
happened.
That's a topic you'll have to deal with her later. You're not gonna have an easy time now. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a
Uh,
good thing I live 10 kilometers away from here.
Actually, you're also in Mumbai
Kilometers
right now.
only.
Yes, yes,
Just
I'm in Bombay
bye.
now.
अरे मतलब मुंबई को बॉम्बे बोलने वाले लोग is already people who know the history and love the history. Is that why, or you prefer Bombay or Mumbai, or why? Or no preference as such?
I think nostalgia, like all of us kids are just going back to Phantom
Bombay, right?
cigarettes and Bombay, so we call it cool.
Also, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
call it Bombay than Mumbai.
People call their like over there also call Bombay like locals. Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
Acha, interesting. No, that's, I think I agree with Tanya. At least for me, it's more nostalgia. Just calling it
Mm-hmm.
Bombay. But yeah, people, I think local people, there's also, both work. And then eventually every city is getting changed. There was this name supposed to be for Ahmedabad also, right? I think I remember there was a discussion happening. That never
Karnavati.
happened.
Yeah, it did not happen.
Never happened. So you want it to happen or don't want it to happen?
Karnataka, no, I don't think there's a need as such.
Yeah. So that's not happening. Let's not change the whole character of. There's a brand, right? There's an association with the name. There's nothing to do with imperial, non-imperial, this reason, that reason. There's just an association of the brand of the city, and then suddenly you have
Yeah.
to associate with something else. So
Yeah.
whoever does that, let them do it. But today we have teams, or should we do teams or not? Firstly, I think first let's have that discussion. Tanya, you suggested team. Should we do it, or just present our
Mm.
individual ideas?
Anyway, I think it's also like if we all get busy, then I
Yeah.
don't know who'll talk on the live stream. So it could also be two, three people discussing and two, three people talking. Like that's also fine. I just
Yeah. So
said it for the
I was thinking Diya and Navya, while you can participate too, but we can chat with Charles when he's
Mhm.
here. Charles also has
Yeah.
done a lot of. I don't know his entire portfolio. I never asked because he's that senior guy. But there's a very famous vodka water brand here in Canada that he designed the cans for. So you can
Oh.
talk to him about product design or any kind of design principle. I think he has experience to talk about a lot of things. So maybe we can chat about that once he's there.
Even right now, you saying he's building what? Outfox is
Innerwear,
it?
innerwear. That's an innerwear sort of innerwear. I would say apparel tech sort of
That's
brand.
also a product in itself, right? So that will be also interesting.
Yeah. That's a good one actually. It is a product design itself that
Exactly.
how he used the technology to build what he's built. And
Yeah.
also I remember his pitch deck. It was like one of the problem slides were that farting is real and people get embarrassed when they fart. So we built an underwear which actually not get embarrassed because somehow it holds the smell in or something like that. So there is some tech angle involved in
Wow.
what he's building. Maybe it has changed now. I don't know. I'll check with him once he's here. But the
Yeah.
brand name he has changed for sure. Now it's called Outfox. Earlier it was called something different, which I don't even remember. So maybe for the right reasons he changed the brand name. So we can talk about that. But while he joins, we were talking about cities and design. So Ahmedabad and design, I feel there's a big association because of the design colleges and you were talking about it, Saiva, when I joined. Why do you associate Ahmedabad with design and why it's good for design? Maybe we can talk about all the cities and design like Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Delhi to start with, and maybe other cities also.
Yeah, so basically, I'm actually originally from Chennai.
Okay.
So in Chennai, we have like a rich history of textile and a rich history for VFX and as well. So a lot of what like my exposure to design was mostly in fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever like even actually interestingly in my 11th and 12th, I studied fashion as a subject in my school, and that kind of led me to kind of explore design a little bit more in that sense, because before that it was mostly about how I draw and I just play around with the random elements. But after like studying a little bit more about the city's history and the city's association, so a primary example would be Kanchipuram, where you have the saris like basically being weaved over there. So that was like
Yeah.
my first initial exposure to textile design as a whole. So I feel like each city has its own charm in that sense. And once I moved to Ahmedabad for college and started like, you know, incorporating myself within that system and that sort of knowledge that you get,
Mm-hmm.
um, going to these different cities and the different viewpoints that you get from each and every interaction becomes more evident
Yeah.
almost. And also, like in Ahmedabad, for example, like going around the city, you can clearly see the influence of design in every single space. Be it
Yeah.
old Ahmedabad, be it like modern day Ahmedabad, it's quite evident.
Yeah.
In Bombay, especially, like obviously when you think of Bombay, you think of movies, you think of all these like different
Yeah.
sections, right? So like when you're exploring the city as well, like this like every Thursday in Bombay, the interesting part is they open it up for galleries as well
Hmm.
in South Bombay. So like exploring all those elements. So like kind of seeing how design interacts with you after
Yeah.
like understanding how it works, it just opens your eyes that much more. And it becomes so much easier to like interact with your surroundings in that way.
Interesting. That's super cool. So your favorite city is what for design inspiration?
For design inspiration, oh, that's a hard one. Within India, I would say, because I'm from there, I would say Chennai.
Yeah,
But
because you've just lived there longer, and I think you're right.
exactly,
Chennai also has so much inspiration, so much history and culture. Any city that has a lot of history, tradition, culture. I mean, it can give a lot to a designer, right? Like
yeah,
there are stories, there are elements of culture in textiles, in the buildings, in how people interact, how what people wear. So obviously, that makes a difference. Tanya, for you, like what's your favorite city and why for design
So,
inspiration?
interestingly, I've grown up in like 13, 14 cities across the
Wow.
length and breadth of India.
Yeah.
So, one way to look at it is that, oh, I know all of these cities, and one way to look at it is just like Saiva knows Chennai inside out. I
Yeah.
feel like I know very few cities from like all of it, but I think you get the gist of cities in a year and a half. Again, it could be like because I belong to Madhya Pradesh, so I
Hmm.
really like the belt of Orchha and Khajuraho and Bundelkhand region, like,
Hmm.
and maybe because I belong to that place, it was easier for me to read that. But
Yeah.
I also had like illustrated a book. It's called 123 Idli na Sambar Si. So it's essentially a kid's book where kids are
Okay.
supposed to find like food objects. So in the Chennai spread, there were like seven idlis. In the
Yeah.
Hyderabad spread, there was biryani
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So
Nice.
while I was drawing those, we kind of realized that the architecture kind of shapes
Hmm.
the people, and
Yeah.
therefore that shapes the culture, and
Hmm.
then the modern day uh, things get influenced by that. So I
Yeah.
think the best way to like find city inspiration and like figure out which one is really nice is through either architecture or people reading, like whichever one the person is better at.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
but I
That's
think
true.
even
Architecture.
Bombay is quite
Yeah. Yeah.
inspiring that way. And also like Bombay is I think Payal Kapadia also nailed
Hmm.
it in her representation in the
Yeah.
movie All We Imagine as Light. But like the dichotomy, right? Like for a
Yeah.
second you could be in the South Bombay region where everything is so relaxed that you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I have all the time in the world. And then you
Yeah.
could just be in the other where everything is
Yeah.
rushed. And even if the same restaurant opens a chain in these two
Yeah.
places, it won't look the same. And
Yeah.
probably it won't even be branded in the exact same way, right?
Yeah.
It'll feel also different. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that also happens in India, that
Yeah.
cities are also so differently
Correct.
designed.
Now,
And
even
there are parts,
architecture wise, you
yeah,
said it right. How it flows. I really love that structure of how it eventually inspires design. But
mm,
Delhi surprisingly has a lot of history in architecture, and
yeah,
obviously it has pollution too and other problems. But it's something that can inspire a lot of design, and it has inspired too. I mean, there was a time when the fashion. I don't know if now is, but fashion capital was Delhi. because all these fashion shows and all these things used to happen. Sort of maybe has lost his charm a little bit now of late, but it has a lot of
Yeah.
history and architecture for sure.
Yeah. You see a lot of it in like modern day things also. So Navya is also working in a studio of Ahmedabad. So Ahmedabad, Surat, Gandhinagar, all of these places have very nice studios. Is
Nice.
also because the architecture was already really nice and then they had
Yeah.
space. So they invited more creative cultures.
Oh yeah. If I fit that, maybe Navya, you can add on. But just a shout out also to Jaipur for that reason. I think it fits
Yeah.
what you are saying, because I was very pleasantly surprised. I mean, I stayed in Jaipur for a week this time, and the kind of cafes and the kind of this whole lifestyle businesses that are coming up
Hmm.
there, which are marrying the heritage and the modern way of marketing it. I think that was something that I really liked in Jaipur as
Yeah.
well. So Navya, Diya is from Jaipur, so now we're gonna take their comments to their favorite cities, so that being Gen Z, they're not sleeping on the call. I'm always nervous. How do I keep these five Gen Z people up late at night?
I've grown up in Jhansi, so it has a lot
Yeah.
of history. It has a
Mhm.
lot of culture. Again, Tanya was saying nearby Ochai, Bundelkhand region only. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of history. But what I find different in Ahmedabad is that they've connected, like they have an history, but they've also connected modern art. Design is also very prevalent. So that is more important, I feel. And उस वे में I like Ahmedabad a lot, more, a lot
Mhm.
better than Delhi
Gurgaon में क्या कर रहे हैं ये
in
लोग?
terms of.
Why are you in Gurgaon, guys? This college had two branches and you took Gurgaon over Ahmedabad. Come on, yaar. Yash, Diya both, but now they don't complain. Diya is in Mumbai, but Ahmedabad definitely. I think that's why I keep hearing good things. So
Yeah.
let me know when
Also,
Charles has joined. He was
Chandigarh,
supposed to join
because
1:30. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm very close to Chandigarh.
yeah,
So the grid system, like we couldn't
Yeah.
replicate it anywhere else.
yeah.
But it's so organized that your brain, you could like feel your brain clear up when you go to Chandigarh, just because
Really.
you don't have to think too much. You know, things are
Yeah,
2 blocks away, 4 blocks away. Like you can speak that language, which
yeah.
usually in India is madhya marg pe milega, is marg pe milega, us marg pe milega. And if you're new, then
Yeah.
all the best to you.
That's true. That's so true. I mean, and it also clears your head when you go further up in the hills.
Yeah.
You get
Me
good
and
air,
Dia in our nirvana zone.
nirvana zone. Yeah, good stuff to smoke up also, and it's also clears your head in a way, right? Well, like, I mean, people get all sort of things to take inspiration. So why are you laughing, Yash? Don't judge anybody. Yeah? Why? What is
Sounded.
this?
It
Huh?
just sounded easy. I'm not judging anybody. You do you.
That's what live stream. Why have you not explored Delhi? By the way, you are living in Delhi. You only stay in Gurgaon. You never even go to
In my
Lodi
childhood,
Garden. Go to Old Delhi. Go to Old Lodi Garden. Go to the Humayun Tomb. Like, see all these
yeah,
places. There's a horse khas. There is a fort. I mean, if you read about all these areas, I mean, there's so much history and inspiration you can get. Right there. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
so probably you should do that. When Charles join, let me know, because I cannot see him if he
yeah,
has
yeah.
joined.
I'll let-
Um,
I think Charles has
Hey,
joined.
bud.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're good. We're
Hello.
good. We were waiting for you.
Full house, man. We were talking about design and the cities you live, how much it inspires you. So I'm like, perfect time to ask Charles, how's Toronto as a city to inspire you in design or design career?
I actually moved here from Vancouver because I felt like there was more opportunities and more going on in Toronto. Um, and I would say it's true for the most part. It depends on which industry you're in, but Toronto just has like a good ecosystem. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of like um, a lot of energy, a lot of head offices as well too. So for me, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew like, like Canada's big, but all the decision makers for most companies, and with some exceptions, are in Toronto. So like
Yeah.
all the big banks are here, the big consulting firms are here. They're not in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah. So no culture reason. It's just where the opportunities are.
I mean, culture is an interesting one. Like, I think that for the most part, the nice thing about Toronto is that, it has critical mass for Canada. Like, I'm from Vancouver, which is like the third or fourth biggest city in Canada. And
Yeah.
so I was always like, oh, I'm a big city guy. I'm from a big
Yeah.
city. And then
Yeah.
I come to Toronto and I'm like, oh, this is so small. Vancouver is so small compared to Toronto. I remember driving on the 401 being like, this highway is the biggest fucking thing I've ever seen. And then, and I know
Yeah.
this is all in perspective because I have
Yeah.
also been to Delhi, Mumbai,
Mm.
and Bangalore, in which case I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, Toronto's tiny.
Yeah. Oh, have you been to Delhi? I didn't know.
Yeah,
Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, all the three cities. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. You need to now tell us which one you like the most and why.
Um, I was doing mostly charity work, so like the reality is like the things I saw were like rough.
Yeah. Oh, you were doing charity work. This was
Yeah.
like to get donations from people. You had to go to really rough areas then, right? In that matter.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we were working for the Nanny Kelly Foundation, so it was like education for girls and stuff. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, Bangalore is a little strange. Like it's just like it's like a corporate sit like it's just made by, a lot of head offices and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
definitely interesting. Um uh just toured around there, but then like,
Yeah.
and then Delhi and Mumbai were is just like it's a lot for a Canadian to really take in. But we had fun there as well too, and like everybody was really friendly and
Yeah.
you know.
So much of it is what you see, right? And what person takes you where. But if a genuine traveler, and I think you also travel a lot, you keep traveling. So I feel a genuine traveler, the person tries to plan it too much and leave it to others, or you're pretty open about knowing that a city or a country can have both the sides, and let me plan my day and go see both the things and then figure out what I like.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. They're both amazing cities.
Mhm.
But it's also like they're so much bigger than anything you like. I remember before I went to India, I
Yeah,
went to Brazil and I saw the
yeah,
favelas, and like Brazil has a lot of poverty and it's a lot of chaos. It feels
yeah,
like and so that as a Canadian, I was blown away by that.
yeah,
I was like, wow, this is crazy. And
yeah,
then I went to India and I'm
yeah,
like, holy shit, Brazil has
yeah,
nothing on India. Like, this is
yeah,
crazy, you
yeah,
know? So it's like until you see the world, you have your own sort of reality and like your
yeah,
context around what you know, right? And then once you get out and you travel and you meet different people and you see different kinds of cities and how they operate and the cultural lens, I think we talked about that last time, Chetan, like
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No,
is a big part of it.
that was a topic in itself. That we started off, and we are here today because I feel that we touched an important topic that day, that India also has so much diversity and history and culture, architecture, everything, but it's not something that people in the West know India for, like design. Like if you talk about design, tech, yes, tech maybe has become such big thing that you can associate every Indian with tech, but design is not the first association, right?
Mhm.
And we have some really brilliant designers today, really young, going to good colleges. One of them, Tanya, is actually now been working. So she's not in the same club. She's now been working since 4 years after the college. More than that, right, Tanya?
Three years.
3 years. 3 years.
But
So
yeah, close.
yeah, so she has obviously work and experience, but the others are doing internships and doing all sort of side hustles and building their portfolio. And I thought today maybe we can talk about, they can all learn from you, Charles, because now you are a 2x exited founder. who to talk to us about what you sold also. But yeah, that's the idea today, that you give some brief to them and let them share some thoughts, mood board, or observations on how they want to approach it. And maybe we can discuss their approaches. That's the agenda for today.
Yeah, sure. I mean, happy to answer questions about, I sold a design agency in 2021. Um, we
What
did a
was
lot
it
of,
called? Is it still live? Like, what is it called?
well, it's now called Astound Digital.
Okay.
The company was called Patio Interactive when I sold it, and then we were bought by a giant company called Astound, and then they started Astound Digital, which was basically Patio inside Astound.
So, what was the agency about? Like a pure branding design, or was it marketing too, or what was it about?
It was when to be honest, when we first started it, it was me and one UX designer from a company called well.ca.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we left well and we started this and we were like, we'll design whatever our clients will pay us to design.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. I don't know if that was the right strategy, but we needed the money. So we did, like, our first client was actually the neighborhood that we lived in, the business association of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And so we rebranded the neighborhood. We branded their logo, their colors, their typography. We did banners. I also
Yeah.
designed a mural
Yeah.
that's still up to this day, like a giant mural, a two-story mural.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah,
nice. What, how do I look for it? Maybe Samir, you can look for it.
it's
What is them?
it's on College West. I mean, I might have some photos somewhere. Um,
Okay.
And it was also just like we were kind of trying to decide about ideas. And this is also, it's funny, like when you're talking to clients and stuff, be careful what you say off the cuff because they may like it more than the idea you think you should go with.
Mm.
Um, so I think you probably heard this already, but like when you're, well, clients assume free thought when they're given a choice.
Yeah.
So don't like if there's a direction that you feel strongly about, um, you know, frame it with two other options, but try to guide them in that way, right? And be careful too, because you're going to give them three options, and they may choose the option that you don't feel strongly about.
Yeah.
So it's a delicate dance there. But this was the mural idea was like just kind of off the top of my head. I'm like, what about if like a giant alien is coming out of the ground and eating the streetcar? And they're like, that sounds amazing. Do that. And I'm like, really? Oh, okay. All right, yeah, we can do that. Uh,
That's
so
still there. That's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can still see
I
it, and then also it's funny too
yeah.
because like I wasn't the guy doing the actual, like, we commissioned a mural artist to actually
Yeah.
make it happen. We just designed it,
Yeah.
and um uh he said, I was just like, there's a lot of graffiti in Toronto, and he
Yeah.
said, and I said, like what happens if like somebody comes by and graffitis it? And he's like, I'm gonna, the truth is that if your mural is good, if your work is
Yeah.
good, graffiti artists don't touch it. And I was like,
That's
okay.
that's so true. I mean, when you said it, I just felt it. Yeah. I mean, they're all eventually there to either, even if they vandalize, it's more about, other stuff, political stuff, right? But if something is really cool, like that alien you just mentioned, I think why would somebody come and try to put a graffiti on top of that?
Yeah, yeah. I found
That
it. I
that's
found
so
a
cool,
photo I could
man.
share if you want, but it was funny because like we had sort of like these other ideas that were much more sort of elegant.
Yeah.
Because like College West, so the brief was pretty limited, but they have a large Portuguese community.
Yeah.
It's sort of out of the way of the rest of Toronto. Like it's sort of it's definitely it's not like Chetan can attest to this. It's not a part of town that like a ton of people go to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have like a vibrant, um,
Yeah.
you know, uh, it's nice. It's okay, but it's
Mm.
smaller, and that's actually, but we were sort of wanted this thing of like, hey, you could explore outside of the heart of Toronto and explore to this neighborhood. So, and then
Yeah.
also because of it has a large Portuguese and Italian side. So I was like, hey, they sort of relate to famous explorers like Magellan and Christopher Columbus, even though, yeah,
Yeah.
later you found out, oh, he was a psychotic asshole.
Yeah.
But we didn't know this in
Yeah.
2013. Um, so it was all about exploration. And then,
That's why the aliens. Huh?
yeah, kind of. And then
Yeah.
also, I think at the time I had just like, I saw Exit Through the Gift Shop, like the
Yeah.
Banksy thing. You guys should all see that if you haven't seen it. It's really funny.
What is it called?
It's called Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Okay.
It's a documentary about Banksy,
Yeah.
but it's also like to this day you don't even know how much of involvement and what the narrative of the documentary was about and whether Banksy, the whole thing was just a prank by Banksy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was
In fact, I'm
very,
gonna
yeah,
walk to the Banksy installation nearby. I'll show you guys in a bit, but send that link over. Maybe Samir can pull it up. He can share the screen. But yeah, that's a good background. I mean, about what you've done. That work is pretty cool. Saiva, any thoughts there of if you got the right guy to give you the brief?
Yeah, I think it sounds super interesting, honestly. Like, something that really struck to me when he mentioned that don't give your clients like too many options is that recently we were like tackled with a brief, and like oftentimes the client themselves, they like looking through Pinterest posts, they like pitching their own ideas. Like obviously, like in that sense it was cool, right? But as soon as we start trying to like show our narrative and what we built up, their like free reign kind of like takes up some of the space that we have, and then it kind of like goes into an entirely different direction. So like navigating that was also like quite a challenge, because we were working with this brand and they kind of kept saying, okay, we like this, but then we had to like, okay, we understand that all of this is there, but then we were doing some world building. So like that point really stood out to me.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you can basically learn how to build an agency if you keep hearing Charles. So he has that experience of also selling an agency. Yeah, Charles, you can complete your thought, but also talk about Outfox today, so that because that's the brief we're gonna discuss.
sure. Okay, so I mean, uh, maybe I should share. Well,
You
I'll
can share
share.
the screen if you want to. I
No,
mean,
no, I mean, mostly, okay, I just
it,
dropped the Vimeo link. That's an internal teaser that I did, and it's basically, um, not this, sorry, this is the time lapse.
Everyone has.
Yeah, the Vimeo.
Mhm.
No, this is the time lapse, but um, that's of the mural. But then
Oh,
the next one,
let's yeah, let's see that in a bit. But yeah,
yeah, go to
let's
the
talk
next
about
link is the Vimeo link.
the next one, Samir. So, come in a bit.
Um, you're
We
gonna,
were just talking about how gamified this live stream has become. And I think Chetan leading us to a Banksy
yeah,
See,
mural is like an
it has
example
to
of
be some
that.
live drama. Right?
yeah.
So,
It is very live live stream.
Chetan's playing Pokemon Go right now. I just didn't want to tell you.
you need to come at this spot. It feels like I'm in India. Look at this. Hold on a second. And in the evening, they also play this Indian music over here. This is
Yo.
this. I sometimes feel like I'm near in Mumbai, near the lake or near the sea. So anyway, so it's like I'm gonna find those art installations. There are two actually, the Banksy ones
Mm.
in Toronto, if I'm right. I mean, I know two, so maybe there are more. But Navya is also product designer. She's also joined in. I asked her to join because she can learn so much about product design also from you, because this is pretty much like product design what you're just designing now at Outfox, right?
Sorry?
I'm saying Outfox is all product design itself, right? You cannot build this product from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physical product. I'm working with a Lululemon design team to develop it. It's one of those things that sort of aligns with, from a business perspective, we found an opportunity. Um,
Yeah.
and then just through my network, it worked out in terms of actually building a product because I knew nothing about I knew nothing about clothing design.
Yeah.
But I understand from a business perspective, like I think, and when you're dealing with clients, you know, an idea or like a vision of something is great. If your clients have that, you can use that. But really what you're trying to
Yeah.
understand is like what problem you're trying to solve. And so for
Yeah.
me, the best businesses solve pain points and they're very good at communicating that they're solving a pain point. And then you
Oh,
work
yeah.
backwards from there. You know, human-centered design, if you haven't, I'm assuming you all know what that is, but if not, like it really just everything I did at Patio was very much like understand our customers' challenges, their business challenges, and then design something to work backwards from there.
Super cool. Now we want to look at this video.
Sure.
Come back.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll play well on here, but we'll give it a shot.
Everyone has a flatulent story. A plane, a date, an elevator you still feel guilty about. 68% of North Americans say it's the most embarrassing thing you can do in public, which honestly feels low. Social anxiety is at an all-time high, and with diets like keto, paleo, and high-protein everything, let's just say things out there are getting a little stronger than they used to be. Here's the good news. Flatulence-neutralizing underwear actually exists. The bad news, it's not great. We analysed over 700 reviews from products already on the market. The pattern was impossible to ignore. And yes, that's a real review. The technology works, the underwear does not. Bad fits, sloppy design, shockingly uncomfortable. Basically, functional underwear to service the most desperate segment. So we're creating Outfox underwear. Premium, odor-neutralizing underwear, designed by world-class apparel designers. Not a gimmick, just genuinely clever underwear, with a patented design that keeps you confident enough to, you know, stay in the room.
Then he says, "Lady, I'm a dog walker."
We're following the same playbook as other stigma-busting brands like PooPourri, Dude Wipes, and NYX. Brands worth hundreds of millions that turned a niche product into a mainstream juggernaut, with bold content strategies making them impossible to ignore. So whether your partner is keeping you awake at night, you want to enjoy cheese at a party, or you're trying to survive a day at the office with your dignity intact,
dude, you have to stop.
This is a pain point everyone understands, except maybe the dog. Outfox. Underwear just got clever.
So
Awesome. I've seen this before, but not the longer version. But yeah, it gives a full brief of the product and what problem it solves. I think for you all, I want to take some thoughts from the designers as well. Anybody who has a thought can talk.
I think with like products like this, it's very interesting to get like cheeky humor in. And I feel like the initial like positioning and all is so cool in doing that. And even though we see like AI clips, which usually like you would look away from, but because there's like a string of humor going on, and there's also like this constant sort of blend of, hey, this is really important product and high tech, but it's also so relevant in the sense of like all of us, like just everyday life. So I think that comes through, and it was kind of fun. Just the humor element of it kept me so happy throughout. Yeah.
Yeah, the way it was narrated. But overall, I think the product is something that
Yeah,
is timely. That as you mentioned, why people with all these diets and everything, social anxiety in general
Yeah.
is
exactly. Social
gone up.
anxiety.
I think that's a good point. But what are you looking for today to brief them on the brand, Charles?
So I guess it depends on, what kind of designers you are. I think I texted you before the call. One of our challenges really is we're going to be launching this product in a couple months. Our goal is, in terms of rollout, we want to be focusing on the more like there's a large strike zone, there's a large target market in that this is a pain point that can affect a lot of people. However, um, there are subsegments of that target market that we want to focus on, specifically because, like people with IBS, people with Crohn's, people with celiac, gluten intolerances, all that stuff. So we're trying to understand how we want to, you can't, the best way to understand your product and your product market is to release something out into the wild. So the what we're trying to get at is like our visual brand is one of the things is like how are we going to look in a way that um can be appealing to a mass audience but also is aligned with some of these more desperate niches who will probably be our earliest customers, early adopters. There's the visual side, there's the positioning, the messaging, like the key messaging and how we sell it. When you think about it from the psychology perspective, are you selling like something like insurance? So the concept of insurance is like um, you know, it's there in case something goes wrong. We're going to remind you of when things go wrong and we're going to sell you. And then in that, we're creating the feeling, right? A lot of this comes back to the feeling. It's like, I feel I can understand that sense of loss. Let's say if my car gets smashed up and I'm like, oh man, that would suck. But luckily, there's Geico or, there's insurance. Um, or are we selling a sense of freedom of like relating to these stories in terms of like the social aspect, so there's a lot you can go on, there's a lot you can evolve, a lot of it like we've done some thinking on this, but it can really go in different directions and we're looking for some creativity there. So there's like both like a visual side to things and then
Yeah.
there's the messaging side to things, and really like open to different ideas and thoughts and creativity there.
Yeah, we should spend maybe a few minutes on understanding the brief first from design standpoint. I mean, I think anybody can ask that question, but they'll spend about 20 minutes on just, finding some directions or mood board and maybe spend some time discussing those ideas. That's sort of the agenda. But any questions from anyone?
I can also share a visual design um, concept that a guy did for me.
Yeah.
I'm not thrilled with it, and it was probably because I didn't give him good enough direction.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the
so
problem with clients, man. You should understand that better. You run an agency, you know?
well, yeah, I thought I did, and then when I got it back, I was like, this does not
Yeah.
resonate.
Plus, you're also a founder now. You have to do so much more. And then you know that you have to give a more proper like time to it, but sometimes you're just not able to.
Yeah. Sure.
You guys want to see it or what's the plan? Yash, any questions? Anybody? Yeah, Yash, you guys are not talking. Either you're Googling already on working on the brief or you are not understanding anything. One of the two.
No, no. I think this is like a very unique brief. Like I come across so many different briefs, but this is very niche market and a very like something very evident which is right in front of the eye as terms of opportunity, but something as designers, I think for me personally, I've hearing this kind of product, even if it exists in the Western market, but for the first time. So I'm just kind of absorbing everything Charles is saying right now to kind of
Mhm.
dwell upon it when I'm looking
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, and I mean, and Chetan, let's be honest, like in the time that I'm putting this, I'm putting this in front of you, like I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
not expect, our expectations are very low. Like you have very little
Yeah.
time. What would be lovely is if you saw a part of what we're doing and we're like,
Yeah.
and just had like a little snippet of creativity where you're like, here's what I see, here's
Yeah.
something that could be explored. This is really
Yeah.
just early stages. That's
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've already told them that this, I mean, you can't have an eventual output in this time, but it can be some ideas you can build upon. It's all sort of going to compound eventually, right? This discussion
Mhm.
can be a starting of what will eventually be created, but it's still
Mhm.
going to give you some ideas. So maybe we're just brainstorming on ideas today, but it's
Yeah.
a start. Yeah. But,
One thing.
yeah.
One thing that we've gone back and forth on, and I have like advisors, and we've debated this is the word mark and then the logo. Like, I do like the idea at some point of like having a like my idea was like a fox with a bow tie
Okay.
as
Yeah.
the logo.
Yeah.
We have the word is Outfox. It kind
Yeah.
of lends to, when it comes to a brand having a logo at some point that is
Yeah.
identifiable. I was like a classy looking fox would be
Yeah.
fun, and we've toyed with that, and I've but then and then the word mark itself and some of the like if you guys are big typography people or like
Yeah.
if you look at like Saks or Shinesty or Nix, they all have like very nice well thought out word marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then we went to like, well, do we need a fox right away? I kind of wanted the fox right away, but then one of my advisors was like, uh, unless you really have a reason for a fox,
Yeah.
maybe don't use it right away. I see a
Mm.
bigger picture, like, a Dr. Squatch is I'm a big fan of their brand, and I'm not saying our brand should be like their brand, but they
Yeah.
have like this like cartoon um Sasquatch, and
Yeah.
they were sold for $1 billion. So,
Yeah.
um,
That's true. And I think I mean for me, if I want to use a fox, it'll be immediately thinking about the marketing part of it, right? How interesting the marketing can be
yeah,
with a character like Fox, right? That's my first reason to use it, and I'm not saying that's the only reason to be used it for, but I mean it's an innovative brand, so you have to first choose the personality you want to sort of
Yeah.
take in that brand, right? Like I remember the previous name was too technical, covert, right? Like what is the name? I
yeah,
don't
it
remember.
was covert with two T's.
But yeah, so I
Dropping
felt
in the
that,
chat.
yeah, that became a little too technical. I definitely like Outfox more because
Yeah.
it has that personality. It's like also like in a way you can use it for marketing, but I don't know if the word mark should have it. That's something that probably we can discuss first and take thoughts from
Yeah.
everyone. And before we do that, the very famous sort of word mark I'm around right now,
Wow.
Yeah.
the Barbie
Iconic.
one, right? Like
Yeah.
this whole place has just now come up, like the Barbie Cafe.
Where are
So
you?
I'm at Esplanade and Church.
Oh, really? They got a whole
Yeah, yeah,
Barbie thing going on there. Cool.
yeah. There's a lot of things going on. That's where the the Banksy art is in one of the walls here. So I was going to
Ah,
find that. But yeah, I think the brief is good. That we need first to know. So we can brainstorm on the word mark. That's the brief, and whether we need to use the Fox or not, I think that's something that we can discuss once we all show the ideas, right? What's the first idea or association that comes to your mind after
Yeah.
listening to Charles and the video you saw?
Yeah.
Is that okay for everyone? Any thoughts? Any so that we can just structure the next 20 minutes more on that.
I have one question. So basically, Charles, when you changed your name from Covert to Outfox, did you have anything specific in mind? Why are you like choosing this name, like a concept kind of thing? And
yes.
also, like the brief you sent me from the designer,
Mhm.
it mentions that men quietly live with, but in the video I see like unisex kind of target market. So I just wanted to understand that.
Two great questions. So, I it was a real long journey to get to the name Outfox.
Yeah.
We I bought this book called Hello, My Name is Awesome. by
Okay.
Alexandra Watkins. And I even reached out to Alexandra Watkins because she's a professional namer. That's
Okay.
her
Okay.
whole thing.
Oh, wow.
She and she charges about $10,000 to think of a name. She's named a bunch of things that you've probably seen in the US, and she gets hired by big clients to think of a good name. She
Yeah.
has but she also sells a book, and in the book it says, "Hey, if you can't afford to hire me, here's my book. It's 25 bucks." I
You can
read the
learn
book.
to do the
Yeah,
thing.
she had she has like a criteria of like
Yeah.
what a good name is, and then also non-starters of a name. And so one of the
Yeah.
things was like um uh, let's see, I'll find it. Hello, my name is awesome. Naming criteria. So smile. So S stands suggestive, memorable, imagery, legs, as in it has potential to grow, and
Yeah.
emotional. It connects with
Yeah.
people that make them feel good. And then the scratch, which is the bad ones, is like spelling challenged. It's a copycat. It's restrictive. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Recursive knowledge, which means like you only get it if you have like insider knowledge, and then hard to
Yeah.
pronounce.
Okay.
So covert failed on a couple of those things. It has an extra T at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't really create enough in terms of emotional or imagery. So when we landed on Outfox, A, it was easy to spell, B, it was available. Um,
Yeah.
it represents clever.
Yeah.
It could be fun in different ways. It has some legs. It has
Yeah.
some imagery. You know you can picture a fox if you want.
Yeah.
So and it was honestly it was quite the journey. But
Yeah.
we landed on that. The second thing, to answer your second question, is so we are developing a men's pair and a women's pair. However, what we learned in terms of our research is that men and women buy underwear completely differently.
Yeah.
How you talk to them, what resonates with them, all these things were completely different. And we felt like instead of being everything to everyone, we wanted to
Yeah.
develop a really good pair of men's underwear, take the learnings, and probably launch a women's brand that's completely different. Um, so we just decided to focus on men's.
On men
On
right
men.
now.
And then, you know, we were going to get asked that question. We also found that in terms of these pain points, men are more likely to buy this underwear, about 70 to 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Interesting.
women never accept they fart, right? It's just a cultural thing.
Well,
Like,
it's, you know, it's a lot of things. Although that being said, I know I'm going to get a lot of people being like, when are you making the women's version?
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
and
you also talked about IBS, and IBS, women are more likely to have IBS. I think it's 2:1
Yeah.
ratio or something. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
uh,
No, as soon as we launch the men's, we're going to start working on the women's version. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the real question is like, do we there's another company out there that sells a product that's similar to ours. It's like we're basically trying to do a better version of that. It's called Shreddies,
Okay.
and they sell a men's and women's version. Um, the challenge being is that, well, on the one hand, if you sell just a men's version of a product,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's more like Saks. It's like built for men, designed for men, and from a marketing perspective, it's it's you can communicate in ways that is better than a unisex product.
Yeah.
However, you are limiting to half. And then what we would do is
Exactly.
then launch a separate brand for women's that's communicating towards women. That's more like
Yeah.
for women. Actually, my two partners in this are both women. And
Yeah.
so, you know, they would
Yeah.
take the lead on like, hey, what's important to you in terms of your underwear? If you look at a company like Hoo Ha or
Yeah.
Knix, their messaging is very much like we understand you as a female. So
Okay.
um, it was
Yeah.
I, it was a challenging direction, but we decided that since Shreddies was doing a unisex version, we wanted to
Yeah.
say, hey, we will lean more into the men's version and then
More,
take that
we'll
learning.
make it more niche.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
basically,
why?
for Outfox, we are just looking at men's right now, and when we are going to diversify, we are going to launch another brand. So the visual language for this will not be unisex, right? That's what I wanted to.
Correct.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Thanks.
and when I made that video, I was thinking about a unisex product, and I
Yeah.
am too lazy to change the video.
No, yeah, yeah. It's also like the video is quite explanatory to change it also. Like it's very good flow wise to now
Yeah.
touch it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the original one was with Covert, and then I had to change it to Outfox, and then I
Yeah,
was using 11 Labs for the voice, and then they had like the voice disappeared, so I had to make a new voice. It's a whole thing. Learning with AI
Yeah.
is fun but challenging.
yeah.
No, yeah.
To talk about something that's not built on AI, this is the Banksy original art.
Your video is
Uh,
off. Jason.
Your video's
No,
off,
I
yeah.
got
Video is off. Crazy. Okay, wait a second. Why is it off, guys? Technical
only my
problems.
back signals.
Yeah, that's in the Nature's Emporium, New York. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was actually showing. There's 6 in Toronto. Yeah. They were please preserve 2, I guess. Yeah. Thank you. No, no, I was showing it to some friends. I know. That's sad, right? Yeah, that sucks. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, guys. You can't still see my video. That's strange. While I
Yeah.
figure that out, so Saiva and Tanya, are you all thinking about the brief too? Some thoughts, Diya?
Guys, have you already started? Don't cheat.
Don't cheat.
No, I haven't started yet.
Oh, cool.
I mean, you can all start thinking and maybe share some. What is the right thing to show for a designer right now? Because designers need time. They need time to absorb the brief and understand. Maybe some first thoughts, I think, would be good just to find out this is the kind of mood board I'm thinking based on what you just shared. Maybe 3, 4 images, and just there's no right or wrong. It's just something we can share and talk, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally happy with the choose your own adventure. Every designer
Yeah.
is different in how they look at problems, and so
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, it's just like cool ideas, cool concepts, something that catches your eye and makes you sort of think in a direction, then you can share it. There's the Banksy.
There's the Banksy. Ironically, somebody did
Oh, wow.
try to vandalize it, but we still
They
preserved it.
framed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So they put a frame around it. So and it's looking at the wall. So the interesting thing is the all three people are looking at the wall, and which has nothing on it. It looks like the same wall. So that's why I like it, like the thought behind it. I don't know what's it
Yeah.
saying though. What do you think? Any first thoughts?
So I can't tell. So they put a glass frame around it, but the original
Yeah,
thing is just them looking at the wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at the wall. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's taking the piss out of the fact that you're there looking at the wall, you know,
Yeah,
trying to
right.
think about what he's trying to say.
That's so
Yeah.
cool though. That's something you can do, right?
Yeah,
Reverse psychology.
yeah,
Yeah. That's really cool though. Meanwhile, right is just behind it and just
Oh my God.
next to it,
My
such
God.
such a strong visual, and they I think they're doing some sort of a pop-up here.
huh.
They're just doing some skating, and I don't know if the new movie is coming or just the store, but
I
yeah.
think for the women's innerwear, Barbie is such a cool brand to collaborate with for this kind of high-tech product that Charles just showed us. It will
Yeah, but
be like quirky
Barbie
and
is
fun.
associated with young women, right? Like you cannot associate Barbie with, like, apart from the Barbie movie, which was
Yeah.
seen by women across the world because there was this feminism angle and everything. But yeah, otherwise as a brand, it just has a very strong association with
With
just
kids.
young women, right? Kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, 50-50 on that.
Yeah.
But it'll be
Yeah.
cool. So for men, we can find out some visuals, maybe from
Yeah.
Google or any favorite websites of yours, just to start thinking what can be sort of a good visual to associate this. And there's no
Yeah.
right and wrong. Whatever you guys feel comfortable, you can share, and we can start looking at it whenever you are ready. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, we can talk about yeah. Yash, you have a question? You can talk.
Yeah. I have one last question. So, Charles, this Outfox brand that you're building, is it like tech first, or is it like the innerwear will also have some kind of cool prints to also address the younger market and kind of evolving market, or is it like something very that looks very normal but it's high tech inside?
Yeah, so good question. So the pain point that we're solving is pretty clear.
Yeah.
And instead of so what we want to do is wait for our customers to demand the next
The
evolution of the product. So our
Okay.
first version is going to be black.
Yeah.
We're designing the underwear to be black, but to have little bits of trim, or especially on the inside waistband, um,
Yeah.
uh, that are identifiable. Um, so that we know that this underwear stands out in your laundry bin, in your drawer from the other
Yeah.
stuff. But to answer your question, we're going with black to start because there's no need to spend our resources on different colors just yet. That's not why they're buying the underwear.
Got it. Got it.
You know what will be a really really cool sort of collaboration one day? Charles would be to do it with that movie, Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Fox. You know, that's that's one of my favorite movies. So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
How does Mr. Fantastic stay fantastic? Well,
yeah,
Outfox.
Right.
Outfox. Yeah, how does Mr. Fantastic stay fantastic? So that's a good one.
Yeah.
How's he so?
I've been trying to do like I just toying around with a fox
Yeah.
human in different
A
settings.
mascot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and using AI, using my credits on AI for that,
Uh-huh.
and it with mixed results.
I think the first version you need to draw it out, man. I think AI will give you a direction, but the final output would be something that you'll probably have someone to design, like like an artist to just give you that exact mood and the character and uh, and get the message across. But because I feel, I mean, this is why I'm sort of associating with the Fox idea a little more because I feel this whole industry and this category that you're building, and it needs to be talked in a fun way. As Tanya also said, she liked that part. So the having a character can make it, you know, can give it a character to for people to talk about it and make it cool so that they wear it even if it's sort of cool and not just a technical reason to wear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you will have. This is again, what we are discussing here. There's no 100% guarantee what works, but the thing is, it's gonna have a cool effect on it. Like if you make the brand cool, it's just that
mhm.
more people will come and explore it. And hey, it's cool, but it's also functional. So why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think we're focusing. I think the brand from a visual side needs to appeal to people who are like the desperate users, the people who have a medical condition.
Yeah,
However, like what we see is very much on a spectrum of the desperate people, medical condition, and then slowly being like, oh, hey, I travel. I'm
yeah,
back in the office.
yeah,
I like eating cheese at a party,
yeah,
like all these things. So
yeah.
that's where we think we can grow with it.
Mm, Because the medical direction you can take, and definitely, I think there's money in there. And once you go after a category or a segment of people, but it does look like a different communication when you go for more like a medical reason. Well, have you figured
Mhm.
out your initial cohort though? Like which cohort of users or first set of users you're going after, the first 500? What's the cohort
Three.
looking like?
Yeah, it's gonna be people probably with IBS or something similar to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
And
it's
men troubled by IBS, basically. Huh?
yeah, like we've got
Yeah,
a whole list, and then we're sort of going to just be putting out feelers to understand, like, we want the people who like literally have a bad experience. They come home and they Google fart-proof underwear.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
or they had a bad
I
experience and then they get, they didn't even know this existed. What we found is that a lot of people uh didn't know this product was possible.
Yeah. So have you seen Google search results of fat-proof underwears? Have you seen those?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I've got my partner is doing some research on that right now, but
Mhm.
because we're looking like, we want to best use our marketing dollars too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Tanya?
I had a little bit of like things that I've
Mhm.
Mhm.
just put together, which is
Yeah.
very basic and
Yeah.
in no means the true things of how I do. I the thing that stood out to me the most, and I'm sorry to just like come in. The thing that stood out to me the most was the social anxiety bit of it, because with like meta glasses and like phones always being around and like one moment is like always on the internet, I felt like that is what people have become very conscious of. I also read that youngsters aren't dancing these days because they're so like conscious about being seen.
Mhm.
So I kind of went in that space and I'm kind of taking the liberty to share my screen also. So just like reaching where they are and um kind of like truth dare or fart, or like a fart could interrupt the gossip, like things that they would ideally do and things that are social settings, like even an office meeting, which could really be interrupted and could really cause like harm.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people do fart at their homes, maybe like especially towards the night when like they know they're alone and everything, and
Mhm.
that's never a concern. And it's only
Mhm.
in like bigger groups and social settings that it becomes a conversation. So I sort of kept that. And with no means do I mean this tale to be in any means do I recommend this, but I was thinking that because the figure of Fox is quite associated with like cunningness and like very straightforwardness. I was actually thinking about using the tail of it towards the end, so like a very slight hint of it all, so a person who doesn't know would never know, but maybe just the X ends like this, and then everything else is just like a pretty font that goes with it all. But yeah, that was one of my
Yeah,
thoughts. And then
love it.
this probably even becomes the way we look at things. But yeah, these are just some very basic, very rudimentary first thoughts that I had.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's great. That's yeah, figuring out how to incorporate the fox or something into the logo.
Yeah.
And
Interestingly, the
and
fox also like the structure of its face also reads as a underwear, like if I just look
yeah.
at that. But then I feel like that might be too direct. I don't know. Mm.
Worth exploring. I think Tanya also.
Ye-
I know you're telling me this. These are some quick thoughts, not the final version. And as a designer, he knows that too. But he's also seen your portfolio. So I always try to share people's portfolios. So he obviously understands. Given more time, I mean, this can actually
Yeah.
look a lot better. But I think great. I think first thoughts. These are the good first thoughts, right? Like you're thinking social setup. You're thinking the
Hmm.
social anxiety, and there's a deep insight about who are the first set of users and how they feel.
Yeah.
I think in terms
Yeah.
of that visual really stood out for me also, and
Yeah.
and I suddenly realized Outfox is actually you kind of outwit someone or outsmart someone, right? So I
There,
don't know
he's
if that
getting
Hmm.
it.
term is yeah. Is
Yeah.
that term used? Outfox? I outfox you? Is that a term?
Yeah, that's the the meaning of it. So Outfox means like to be clever.
To be clever,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's a very good name. And now I'm liking the name even more.
Yeah, now that you put it that way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you
Even
outfox
like
someone else.
first date settings, or like uh, even if it's not always about groups, but like an
Mhm.
Yeah.
important interview or like a first date. Because I feel like usually even so in India we have this candy, it's called the Vicks candy, which is
Mhm.
essentially for sore throat.
Yeah.
But initial advertisement of Vicks throat was just like it's used by singers and like really funny singers. So it wasn't ever
Yeah.
about sore throat. And
Yeah.
then sore throat users just like automatically understood and came to it. So I feel like the medical usage would sort of be a learned understanding and can like be advertised that
Yeah.
way later. But it's just the talking point that gets people going,
Mhm.
probably.
Yeah, here dropping. I'm just dropping. So these were dropping in the chat. These were the different emotions when you think about advertising.
Mhm.
What we're looking at in terms of like an emotional matrix. So
Yeah.
um you wanna resonate with your customer from an emotional side, right? So it's like, you know, is it relief? Like, oh my God, like and now that I have this, I feel like, I feel relieved because it solves my problem. Is it empathy? It's just like, I'm worried about, I don't want other people having to deal with this. So,
Yeah.
you know, all these different things. I mean, the um things like defiance, where it's just like, I want to eat cheese at a party. Fuck you that I'm not allowed to, and now I can, so I feel good about
Yeah.
myself. There's these different kinds of emotions there. So it's interesting to think about that when you develop the brand. But there's a lot of this that like we're gonna discover as we release it into the market. So a lot of these are like hypotheses and just based on, data that exists.
Yeah. I think you gotta also make the list shorter as it goes, right? Like
Mhm.
uh, because you can't communicate everything to
No.
everyone, right? So I think that everyone is not a problem. You're only communicating to men who have IBS, but yeah, just talking to people who have IBS and just sort of seeing what associations they have
Yeah.
would be nice too. I don't know if you can bring you 5 people who have IBS next time, get them on the live stream and ask them.
That's why I couldn't make the meeting at one. It's because
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody who runs a big IBS foundation in Canada.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, because I'm
And
trying to get a better sense
you're
of their psychology for
yeah,
sure.
that's so cool. Yeah, for somebody who's trying to do any kind of design, I think people sometimes go with their gut and not spend too much time in researching, which is good that you are researching. So, Charles, how much time do you have today?
Good question. Let me double check here.
It's almost 2:30, so but I'll check.
Oh, I have a call in 4 minutes.
In 4 minutes, okay.
Yeah. But
So
I
so
mean,
if
happy to regroup next week or whatever. I'm easy. I know you
yeah,
guys are, you know,
Yeah,
um,
For sure, yeah.
this this has to be a continuation thing, right? And once we fix it for Charles and gives him something he can possibly use in any way, we'll have
yeah.
more people, more founders who would be happy to join in and give their challenge statements. But was that exciting for you also? For new people who joined in, I know you joined in first time. Was it exciting for you to hear from Charles?
Yeah, it was quite fun actually. Like I was actually going through the entire brief right now.
Yeah,
Like my mind kind of like goes into the entire mode of research and like so as soon as he mentioned it, I went through all the
yeah,
competitors, kind of
yeah,
mapped out their entire branding.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was fun to like tackle the entire situation. One thing I do want to point out is that a lot of the brands, I think the reason also why you didn't end up liking the said brand is that it was too tech forward, that's one, and it's too similar to the competitors that you have at place right now. Like I
Yeah.
was looking at this brand called like Tootles and Shreddies. They have this similar sort of like color psychology, the similar sort of typography.
Yeah.
So that sort of like tone of voice as well wasn't like speaking to you. That's what like I started to realize. So it was a fun exercise to do with you, and yeah,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we can catch up on it later as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, the interesting thing is like there's basically Toodles and Shreddies is the leader. Toodles is there, and then there's a third company, Shinesty, but their product actually doesn't work. So they've spent the most money on it, but their product I know just does not work. So, but they actually have like Winklevoss money behind them, which is funny. So
Yeah, I mean, it's also that's a different conversation how to pitch to the investors. We'll probably do that too some other time.
yeah,
But I hope, Charles, for you also, this whole idea of live streaming these briefs is interesting. I mean, it starts with you, but I hope more founders can see value as we do more of these.
yeah, for sure. I guess for a lot of it, just like what you were saying, is like we're putting you guys on the spot like very quickly. So I, expectations have to be managed and maybe like in the future, like having a little bit more just so it's like, you know,
Yeah.
like I said, like you're gonna have to research this, you're gonna have to, everybody has their own process. So I think a lot of this for you guys is just sort of understanding the process behind it, where a
Yeah,
client just sort of, brain vomits, and then you're like, okay, I gotta understand and then put it into my process, and then from the research, from the understanding of your pain points and your problems, how I can go about delivering something of value.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for. I mean, throw some feedback later on once you get off your call, and I mean, I can send some of the design inspirations to you on WhatsApp too, and then we can meet again,
Yeah, sure.
Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, before you go, a ritual that we do, like just like praying to the universe thing. I don't know how spiritual and religious you are, but I like doing that because I generally want, now that you're all into Outfox, really wanted to succeed. So, I want to pray to the universe that we all are here to explore collaboration in design. That's one thing, but also just understand each other more and then help each other in any way. And I hope Charles also, succeeds in whatever he wants in the next 3 to 6 months, and the brand is off to a great start. So that's a prayer I'll have for him and all the designers here who are going through their journeys in design. I feel, they all are great. That's why I've chosen them to be here, and hopefully you also get what you want. And that's it. World peace also prevails. To that, amen.
Amen.
Awesome, brother. Take care. We'll hang out for a bit, but chat soon.
Yeah, sounds good. I actually just I'm gonna wait to make sure they join so I can
Okay,
hang out for a couple
you
minutes.
can
If they join,
you
I'll
can
duck out.
okay. You hang out, and then Marilyn Monroe. This poster just came up. Last time it wasn't there. I think the behind you the
Oh,
mon-
oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, maybe, but I used to own a
yeah.
laser cutter,
Okay, that's why.
and
That's
so
why
I used to
it's
laser cut all sorts of fun stuff. I got rid of
cool,
most of
man.
them, but I kept Maryland.
Yeah, of course, you have to
Yeah.
need to pay homage to her. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Any thoughts from you all as you were listening to Charles, and anybody has anything to share, or is too soon?
Yeah.
Navya has joined in after a while. I want to take her thoughts. Diya, is she even here, or
I'm here.
she's so?
Mhm.
Diya, what were your thoughts? You were supposed to chat with me all this while others were working.
Everybody had a lot of nice things to say, so I was just listening along.
So this is interesting for you, or now you've switched off the camera? We don't know because you want to be an interior designer. Say like, what's in it for me?
No, no, it is interesting. I am also doing product all the time, so it is definitely interesting for me as well. Yeah.
The lighting product, right? The lights. Um, what about Navya? You on the product design standpoint, any thoughts? any observations in the
I'm interested to know that how the product actually work. So I was
yeah.
researching how does it actually work. So that was very interesting.
Yeah. So all that you can also hold on for the next conversation or more on the product side as well. But because I think there's a lot of work that has gone into that just from the product standpoint. Yash, are you showing something now that
Researching.
Tanya has shown?
I was just researching. I think I'll send something to you in a bit and then you can forward it. But I'm excited to work on this.
What are
Mhm.
your thoughts on this though? What are your first thoughts? Like what feeling? Because maybe you're 20, 21, you don't associate even though you know you might fart but you don't associate as much. But 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 if especially for someone who has IBS, I think the problem becomes more relatable to them. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so are you gonna talk to anybody who a guy who has IBS, anybody you know?
Yeah, I don't think so. I know somebody like my sister, I think, has this problem. So, not a guy, but at
Yeah.
least somebody who's been diagnosed with this can help me understand the target market. But actually, even if I ignore the IBS thing, personally, I relate with it because it gets awkward and really loved what Tanya showed, like in terms of actually marketing the product, and I think. It's going to be interesting and it can be marketed in very interesting ways nowadays because now
Yeah.
marketing is very wide and you can experiment a lot with such kind of products that actually targets with social anxiety. So I was thinking like not very related to this, but there's a brand called My Mahina, which is like now kind of targeting the stigma of periods, and they have launched the period underwear in Indian market. So usually before this, in period pads and everything, we used to show that blue kind of fluid and that
Yeah.
kind of thing, but now they are targeting, they are showing the real blood, they are addressing the real problem. So yeah, that kind of social awareness also I think is good for the brand because it creates a community who is facing the same problem, and the branding can be a way to navigate that as well in terms of marketing and how you are, putting yourself out there instead of just selling the product but selling the problem and the narrative.
Yeah. I think the whole narrative is so important now. Yeah. Charles, you were saying something.
No, I think you're right. It's about positioning something that's stigmatized. Looking
Yeah,
at Nyx in Canada has done that really well, and then the new one that's doing it is actually Hoo Ha, and
yeah,
they are doing a great job of like also then reframing it again in terms of women's health, um, and
Yeah.
and they're doing very well. So I'm trying to take some of these inspos. The best thing that I always did as a designer is like you're always building on the shoulders of giants. So like
yeah,
creativity in a vacuum is very hard and probably overrated versus ripping
yeah.
and pivoting and taking aspects from one and moving it to another. These are all, I actually just watched a great movie called The Invite on the
Oh, you
weekend.
watched it already? Oh man. Yeah.
It's so funny. And then I
Yeah.
realized I found out it's actually a remake of a Spanish film. But
Really?
they took some of the bare bones of it and then they completely rewrote the dialogue. They wrote so they ripped and pivoted it, right? And it's a great movie. It was when I was in Sundance, I wanted to see it, but it was totally sold out. Anyways, and it's shot entirely in a small apartment with four actors.
Just good
Um,
script, right? Just good script and good setup and the
yeah,
right inspiration, right? From that
yeah,
Spanish film. In
yeah.
fact, there's an Indian movie also which is very similar. And I for a very brief while I thought the invite is inspired by that Indian movie, but now it does seem like that movie might
Which
have got
one?
inspired from the Spanish movie. So there is an Indian movie which also explores like this open relationship thing. I'm forgetting the name. Ranveer Shori and I'll send you guys later. But I watched it back in my college days. It was a funny movie too.
Mhm.
That a guy tries to convince his wife to have an open relationship with these couple, and then they go there, they have a meal, and I mean, and then it becomes hilarious and everything. But the invite is also the same context, right? I guess
Yeah,
it's the same. same context. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
art is theft, man. At the end of the day, art is always inspired by what you
Feels
see
like
around
an
you,
art.
right? It's
Yeah.
never like it's never fresh. There's nothing fresh, right? It's always
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
inspired by something. So
yeah.
that way, I like the idea that. So one final question, Charles. In terms of the men who have IBS, is there an age group also you're zeroing in on, or
It's for the initial launch, it's going to be a little bit older, like
yeah,
30 plus. What
yeah,
the data we've seen is that as you get older, you get gassier.
yeah,
And then it also aligns with IBS. It also aligns with things like different medications. Sometimes it's
yeah?
surgeries, health issues. Your body eventually just starts falling apart. So we think there's a sweet spot where it's like where there's like, men who are, still dating or have a, new partner. They travel, but they also, maybe they're into protein. Maybe we can cover a few in one. Um,
Yeah.
and to
You said
see.
30 or 40? You said
I'm saying
40 or
30. It's just a
30?
rough estimate. It seems,
Yeah,
and that isn't to say, I think one of you mentioned as well too, that like there's a lot of interesting psychology coming out of younger generations who just like don't want to dance because they don't want to
yeah,
end up on an embarrassing TikTok. So
yeah.
there's definitely that, and I think I touched on it in the video too. There is a very clear correlation between anxiety and digestive issues, and it's sort of a circular problem. The more anxious you get, the worse your digestion works, and vice versa. So
That is so true. That's such a good insight. Because I was thinking when they were talking that all the Gen Z is now about, really being authentic, right? For that matter, like in terms of communication.
yeah,
So you can touch upon that. I mean, for
yeah,
for maybe person who is 30 plus, the brand can be a little more on the serious side when we have this playful and
Mm,
seriousness, maybe in the middle, I guess,
yes.
so that it just talks a little bit more,
Mhm.
cool factor for them, right? Like, so, I mean, for men who are 30 plus, what are the brands which they associate with more of? I think you
hmm
can take
Mhm.
inspiration from them, from those brands.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
our outbound strategy versus our website is like outbound. We're going to take a lot of swings. We're going to try some fun stuff. We're going to try some serious stuff. And
Yeah.
then, but then our like core website, like when I get back to the website, it's going to be a little bit less wild, um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just so that we don't turn anybody off.
Yeah. And what is the outbound like to whom? Like, are you also selling to businesses like hospitals, doctors, or are you also
Uh,
gonna be
we're
just
looking at
B2C?
some partnerships. So like, that's why I was talking to these foundations just to see. A lot of their stuff is education. They do provide like, some sponsorship packages. I mean, I'm open to whatever. So I'm just sort of testing out the market, right? And like I'm trying to have meetings and calls with a lot of different people just to get their thoughts on like where this could go, based
Yeah.
on what they know. I mean, it's going to be mostly D2C, but then
Yeah.
also, so for example, actually it's funny, Saks underwear, they have a partnership with a bunch of vasectomy um clinics or
Yeah.
practices within hospitals in Canada. So
Yeah.
when you get a
Yeah.
vasectomy, they give
Yeah.
you a free pair of Saks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very smart.
That is smart. So that's why I was thinking B2B can be a good partnership with a lot of these associations or I don't know. I mean, stores which sell these kind of products. Maybe
Yeah,
people who sell protein, supplements, they can sell
yeah.
this.
We,
Yeah,
we've
that'll
talked
be
about like going
interesting.
to vegan festivals and stuff.
Yeah, vegan festival. So is the product the hard product out now, or what is it? Where is it? Like,
We're just finalizing our prototype. We're on like V4. It works well. There's just like honestly, it's mostly just like the tiny little details on the cut and the fit. Because we're also
yeah,
designing the pouch in the front to be very comfortable as well too. And to be perfectly honest, like we've looked at pouches. Like the thing about underwear is like and just clothing in general is it's hard. There's no like patents. It's just,
yeah,
so you can't really. Actually, there is actually the Saks side ball bra thing is patented, But outside
Mm.
of that, and good for them. But
Yeah.
like the man-made pouch that they speak so highly of, I've seen that in several other pairs, other brands. It's just like, so it's like you got to say that you have it, you got to talk about the features, but this isn't like you're not this isn't your intellectual property. It's just that you've decided this is a feature that your customers want.
Oh yeah, and you figured that out. That's great. Cool.
Okay.
I think we're gonna drop off then, guys. So send me your thoughts. I'll send it to Charles, and we can have this again next week. If I'm not traveling, we'll do it from here. But if I'm traveling, maybe I'll do it from wherever I'm traveling. I'll still keep the live streak on. The streak is now 18th day, so today is the 18th one. So
Yes.
yeah, thank
Bro.
you. So I'm gonna keep it on. I feel that collaborations are coming on these live streams and in different ways. Like the other day, we were doing dating and pitching. There were like three women who were single, and there's this guy who walks in, an Italian guy in Toronto, and he's a stand-up comedian. And like, and nobody expected this. And I asked all the three women, "Are you gonna date this guy?" And that was funny that how it turned out. And then we're doing cold calling, live stream that's happening. So there's a lot of drama and action. So I'm excited by what's happening here. Hopefully, we are able to crack the brief, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for
Thanks for
having me.
thanks for taking this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Saiva. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
in. Bye. Bye,
Thank you so
Diya.
much.
Thank
Bye, bye,
you.
bye, Tanya. Bye,
Bye.
bye, Navya. Bye.